Right, boys, what's going on? I'm so sorry that you guys have to see my face kind of close up, because this fucking mic here, right, doesn't work for some reason, and it's shit as well and keeps cutting out, so we're gonna have to project our voice right into your guys' heads, okay, that are watching this. So sorry for the close-up of the beanie, of the hairline, and whatever else, and also apologies for Nick there for raging at the start of the video. This happens, this is a common occurrence when we're with Nick in a Discord, so I'm sorry for that. He is also the producer of our follower alert, so if you guys haven't already, please head on over to my Twitch and give us a follow, just so you can hear the follower alert. But no, legit, so this game we ended up going 16-0 in silver. Unfortunately, I couldn't record or forgot to record the first 7.5, 8 minutes of the game, so, but I still thought like the last 11 minutes were worth commentating on and reviewing, so that's what we're going to do. And if you guys, I'll just get this out of the way so I don't have to say it at the end of the video. If this is something you guys enjoy seeing and watching and learning from, then please give it a like and, you know, whatever else, subscribe as well if you think the rest of the content on this channel is good. I can assure you guys will be posting a lot more videos like this, so if this is something you guys enjoy and find useful, then yeah, awesome. So yeah, this game I really want to focus on how to push an advantage and win a game early by pushing an advantage. Now, there are a few things that contribute to pushing an advantage, right? And keeping a lead and extending a lead, right? The first one is build. Okay, so building right and building according to how strong you are. Now, not the champion generally, but how strong you are at the specific moment in the game. So, at the moment we have a Tiamat, we have a Stinger, we probably have at least 1k more gold than the other jungler we're versing. What do we go? We want to build damage and we want to keep putting pressure on them by building right. We don't want to let them back in the game by building like a giant spell into a dead man's this early, because giant spell gives us no stats at all but a bit of health, you know what I mean? Gives us no armor, gives us no attack damage or whatever like that. So always build right, and you guys probably couldn't have heard my voice then because this microphone is in the webcam, it's quite far away, so I'll try to project my voice as much as I can, but I don't want to wake the fam up. Anyway, so yeah, so building right. So every time on Shaco, like, it doesn't really matter how fed you are, you'll always go the same build, which is why he's like, you know, a nice champ to play, because there's no like deviation in his build, so you always go Tiamat, Triforce, and then after that it's kind of like, you know, it's kind of undecided what you go. Like some games, like if you've got a squishy top laner, you might want to go Deadman to add a bit of tank to your team, or if you're really far ahead, like in this game, you might even want to go Bork. This game though, we went the warrior enchantment for red smite. Now I think this is the better way. Like normally we'd always get Bork third item, right? But I think getting this this warrior enchantment just helps us so much, because with Bork it kind of negates what the Stinger does. You know what I mean? Because we got Stinger early to help us with our clear, right? So we normally go Tiamat, then Stinger, and it normally just helps with our clear time, which it does. But then getting Bork, this kind of, you know, we don't need all that attack speed, right? And it doesn't really give us that much damage with this warrior enchantment thing. And also the red smite as well I like for it, because if you 1v1, now maybe it might not be pertinent to this elo, but in higher elos, if you 1v1 their jungler, normally their jungler isn't going to be this far behind, so having red smite like allows you to 1v1 them a lot more, and allows you to be this aggressive in their jungle. So we're going to be invading Ivan a lot, and we're going to be encountering a lot of 1v1s, right? So we want to build according to that, which is why we get the... And obviously the warrior for the attack damage. I'm pretty sure it gives you cooldown as well, if I'm not mistaken. So our Gragas top is 0.5, right? At 11 minutes or whatever. But we don't really focus on that because we can't gank bot. I'm only going to be focused on this specific game, but hopefully you guys will eventually like see patterns in your games as well. Because our bot lane is so pushed, there's no point of us going there unless we want to dive, which we really can't, because Janus, shield, exhaust, all of this stuff. Vayne's got enough kite to dodge Lucian stuff and stuff. So doing that's very risky and it might throw our lead. So what do we do? All we do is just focus on Ivan and just completely nullifying him. Yeah? So his contribution to this game is going to be none, pretty much. Because why? Because first of all, we build right, and because we know when to be aggressive. Like, as you see this game, you need to start prioritizing. Like, when you have a massive lead in the jungle on Shaco, you need to start prioritizing doing their camps instead of yours. And it's not just on Shaco, it's on any champion. And this is like kind of the aim of these videos, is to help you guys how to play, to develop your league IQ, right? So no matter who you play jungle, you could be playing Teemo jungle, you know, for all I know. But if you have a lead on Teemo jungle, you do exactly the same thing. exactly the same thing. Now, there might be a few intricacies that are different to Shaco, of course there are, like on any champ, but for the most part, you want to be playing like roughly the same way if you have a lead. So that's building right, and that's knowing when to be aggressive. So we have 3 levels on these guys here. This is just about like knowing how much damage you can do and knowing your limits, which isn't really a big aspect of these videos, but it also helps, you know, if you guys can develop this nice and early. So yeah, what we're going to be developing is just game knowledge. So building is number 1. Second thing we want to be working on is warding, and obviously this is directed at lower elo players, which is like most of my follower base, I think, on Twitch and on YouTube, subscriber base or whatever. So warding is the second thing I want you guys to focus on. So when you have a lead, even if you don't have a lead, okay, warding is essential in clearing wards as well. So as you can see, you always want to carry a pink ward on Shaco or control ward, and reason why is because objectives for you, like Rift Herald, the new one, and Drake's are so easy for you to do because of your ultimate, so you can do them so quickly. So just having that pink there just gives us that little bit of confirmation that, okay, we're good to do this. We don't need to worry about getting, TP'd on by their top laner and then, heaps of CC on us, and that we can do this without any hassle whatsoever. So that's why we get a pink ward most of the time, like every time we back as well. And even if we weren't to do these things, like even if they weren't up, what we would do, like Ivan's now clearing a pink ward outside his red, which isn't ours, but that's where we want to put our pink wards when you have a lead. You don't want to be warding like in River. It may help your like lanes, but not that much, because we're putting so much pressure on their jungle. You just want to keep pressure on Ivan and make sure he can't do anything. Because look what this creates. Like Kassadin, our mid laner, is now invading the Ivan, and it's causing this Janna, who's from bot lane, and the Ahri mid lane to help him out. And look what happens when they do. They die. So it's just creating so much pressure that if you don't help this Ivan out, I'm just going to win the game single-handedly. And when they do, we're so far ahead, we kill them. So building right is very, very important, essential. The other essential is obviously warding and making sure you just completely clear or purge the jungle of enemy wards, right? And put your own wards there. Their jungle pretty much becomes yours. And to do that, you need wards. You need to build right as well, of course, knowing that you can 1v1 the enemy champion. So as I said, the warrior enchantment, the red smite. And the third one, which I've now forgotten, so it was building right. This video was going so well, but we've now dropped negs again. I'm thinking about the raid now, legit am. Okay, so building right, warding, and the last one is, yeah, just knowing like when to push the advantage, I guess. So, for example, like when you have a couple of levels on their jungler, you guys don't want to be doing what they would want you to do. That makes sense. What do you guys think this team wants me to do when I've been in all 16 kills and I've got 12 kills by 15 minutes? They don't want me to put any pressure on them at all. They would want me to be passive, just farm up for a bit and give them, 10 minutes breathing room. What do we want to do? We just want to keep the pressure on, keep invading and making sure that they have no way back in this, because we are dominating this game at the moment. They're all about pushing this. And as you'll see in a few minutes time, they'll surrender. We just put so much pressure on, it just allows our lanes to get ahead because they have to react to us, okay? And in doing so, our laners just get freed up and they can get gold, whether it be getting a turret, getting more CS, even getting kills off us, making plays and stuff like this. So when you guys are ahead and you say, oh my god, this team, bro, like it's so shit, they're not doing anything, there is normally always something you can do. Yeah, and that's probably the last thing I want to focus on. It's not really about pushing a lead, but it's just like general mentality and league, right? Always take accountability if you play shit, and even if you have an S+ game, there's normally something you could have done differently to change that game or change the outcome of that game. So, for example, we may have an S+ performance. Look at this Gragot, by the way. This kid's a fucking machine. We may always have, like, say we have an S+ game and we did pretty much everything that game perfectly. The one play you missed, you fuck up, like maybe you spend 5 seconds too long in base and they get a Baron off it, which goal, or maybe I'm not sure, like you queued in 1 second late and ult in time, so you got stunned and your team lost the team fight. Anything like this, like that one play where you fuck up will cost you the game. So try to focus as much as you can on your performance. Don't really, like, some games are just unwinnable. You guys have to realize that you're not going to win every fucking game on League. But having this amount of pressure in the jungle when you have a lead, knowing when to invade, wards, builds, all of this stuff, being aggressive with your lead, and pushing the lead as well, that is going to like help you guys climb so much more when you're playing jungle. Now, jungle, I understand, like, that it isn't that good, but boys, if you play like this and play aggressive with a lead, you will win most games, trust me. And as I said before, some games are unwinnable, you guys just have to fucking call. Alright? You guys, if you play like this consistently, like you're not going to play like this every game, or have leads every game, but if you guys play like this when you have a lead, you will win 90-95% of these games, especially in this. Alright? So let's just quickly review. So it was build, positioning, knowing when to invade, just like general know-how, if you've got levels on them, XP lead, if you've got red buff, or if you've stolen like, the blue buff, red buff, if you have 4 buffs of the second rotation, stuff like this. This is when you guys need to realize, okay, I'm so much stronger than them. Let's just invade. Their jungle becomes mine. Like Ivan's been in 2 kills, we've been in like a 20, I think. Okay, and why? Because we pushed the advantage we had, and Ivan just can't do anything about it. Alright, and just build-wise as well, guys, like, I went Last Whisper this game because Nick, the follower alert guy, said that Last Whisper was really good against squishy targets, so that's why I picked it up. And I don't actually mind it, to be honest. You do a lot of damage, but I always recommend getting, like, Deadmans or something, just a bit of tank, especially if they're heavy AD, like, I don't know, even if they have, like, 2 APs, like an Ari and an Ivan, if they have, I don't know, someone like a Fiora, Yasuo, Vayne, you always want those, that Deadmans, and even Ninja Tabis as well is very, very useful. But we went mobiles this game just because, as I said before, we want to keep the pressure, and it's just a way of building to help us maintain that pressure. I don't think you guys would have heard that last bit, but anyway, if you didn't gaff, you guys are just going to have to cop it. So yeah, these guys FF now, so we went 1605, so we were in 21 of 22, and guys, this was how to play Shaco in, mid-gold, high silver or whatever. So hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you did, give it a thumbs up, and let me know what you think in the comments. Alright boys and girls, cheers.